Here's Ethan O'Brien, who will go backwards with it as Notre Dame tries to settle in here. Playing a lot of long balls forward, pressured by the Panthers, who have had their way here in the early going.
The Fighting Irish scrambling every time the Panthers get into their final third, and it's really important when you're playing on the road, when you're in the semifinal stage of the AAC tournament, to bend but not break. Notre Dame just keep soaking up pressure, keep frustrating the Pitt Panthers, but the Panthers, they're looking dangerous, and they're an efficient team in the final third. If you give them half a chance, if you keep allowing them in, they will punish you. They have enough attacking pieces, and Valentin Noel, the guy on our screen, he's the leader of that attack. And Steve, to finish up that thought about just this amazing home crowd, this amazing home record that they've built, when you come into NCAA tournament play, it gives you that much more confidence.
Fala pessoal, boa noite para todo mundo. Mandei aí no chat já, tô soltando aqui o jogo da Pitt, que tem brasileiro jogando, o Guilherme tá jogando, e o Rodrigo acho que deva entrar em algum momento. Mas tô de olho aqui na outra aba no jogo da UCF, eles soltam a transmissão exatamente 7h30, então daqui a alguns minutos vai dar esse horário e eu solto a transmissão da UCF mesmo. Jogo da Pitt, muito bom também, semifinal da AAC, né, de outra conferência, mas jogo bom também, tá jogando contra Notre Dame, que é número 20 do país, e vou deixar rodando aqui um pouco para quem quiser acompanhar o jogo. Começando o UCF eu troco e solto, porque realmente os brasileiros da UCF pediram para a gente transmitir, devo ter familiar aí, também pode até comentar quem que tá aí, de familiar do Anderson, do Lucas Mauro, do Rainer, do Arthur, da Memphis também, então já a gente volta, vou deixar rodando aqui alguns momentos. 7h30 começa a transmissão lá, então tem alguns momentos antes do jogo, mas eu vou soltar a transmissão inteira. Fechado? Valeu, boa noite, já eu volto aí.
Notre Dame pressing a little higher up the pitch. Head coach Chad Riley said that's one of their priorities, trying to win the ball in those areas higher up the field to initiate their offense and their transition. Haven't had many opportunities here in the early going, but looking a little brighter. Ethan O'Brien starts the counter here. And a whistle on that far side.
I like that move from the Fighting Irish to initiate the high press. Pittsburgh, not the most physical team in attack. Valentin Noel, he's more of a technical player, not really a hold-up player. They don't have an identifiable center forward. And so when you step up the high press, it forces them to hit the ball long. And that's a win for Notre Dame. That's putting their stamp on this game. But the thing they have to do much better is what they do when they win the ball, when they get second balls. They have to connect, and you have to connect more than one pass. In the first 20 minutes, as soon as they win that ball, they're losing the ball, dribbling out of bounds, or trying to do too much or hit the ball in behind this Pittsburgh team. Make the ball move, keep possession, enjoy the ball.
Yeah, it's attacks that end in something is the way head coach Chad Riley put it for Notre Dame. Possession with a purpose. And that's what they're trying to accomplish here today. We're looking to get on the ball for longer stretches here, where it's been a game largely dominated in possession by the home team to this point. Now in the 22nd minute of this first half.
This is where the Fighting Irish can be so dangerous. We talked about set-piece opportunities at the start of this game. Throw-ins, free kicks, corner kicks. It'll almost be like a corner from the throw-in unless he goes short.
Mohamed Omar will change the point of attack. The service comes into the 18. Now Ethan O'Brien with the turn from the top of the box. Mohamed Omar once again. Slicing pass to Matthew Rue. This is better for Notre Dame, trying to get it to the back post for either Lynn or Shea. Jacobello steps up, but then it's cleared away by the Panthers.
That's good vision for Mohamed Omar. Just when it looks like he's going to go wide, he plays a slide rule pass, playing between the lines as a defensive midfielder. to have a player like that, such a luxury.
Notre Dame has the confidence of having that victory over Pitt from just a few weeks ago, back in South Bend, when they beat them in double overtime by a 1-0 score. It was the only time Pitt has been shut out this entire season, and the first time they had lost in double overtime in 2 years. Alexander Dexter to the end line for the Panthers. Chips it in, headed around, and O'Brien sweeps in to clear it away for Notre Dame.
It's good work from Pitt. And Fiatosa, he pulls the run, loops his run to the far post. When you're playing against a compact defense, runs to the far post are going to be on. Well-flighted ball in from Dexter. He's been lively in this first half.
Very active down this left-hand side. Plays the lateral pass at the top of the box. O'Brien looking to get out. Pressured, but strong on the ball. And the foul called against Pitt. It's going to be Fiatoso who gets called there.
Dexter, that extra touch, it allows Fiatoso space and time to get to the far post. But Notre Dame, they've been doing this well in this first half. Block shots, block crosses, and you have to defend in numbers. If they don't come there to support each other, to cover for each other, that could easily have been a goal. But Pitt, you have to say again, it's been all Pitt in attack this first half.
Out shooting Notre Dame here. They were outshot by the Irish 14-5 in that loss in South Bend about a month.
All 15 games this season. Memphis and UCF set to do battle here in Tulsa. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff.
Pronto, galera. Começou realmente a transmissão da UCF contra Memphis. Vou continuar acompanhando o jogo da Pitt aqui no off, se tiver gol, alguma coisa que der para trazer. Vou trazendo tudo para você. Então, quem já está por aqui esperando, deve ter muito amigo do pessoal. A Antônia aqui, mãe do Anderson, comentou. Lembra de curtir aqui a transmissão para aparecer para mais gente. Então, mais gente vendo os filhos de vocês, os amigos. Então, isso é muito legal. E também de inscrever no canal, porque provavelmente a UCF chegando em National, a gente vai transmitir mais jogos deles, beleza? Então, vou deixar rodar um pouco esse início, eles vão mostrar as equipes, a preparação até chegar nisso, e aí eu trago mais informações técnicas das duas equipes. Como eu falei, é um jogo com brasileiros dos dois lados, Luca, Anderson, do outro lado o Arthur, então muito legal também que vários desses jogadores foram All Conference. Deixa eu só ver o que deu aqui rapidão. Galera, vou deixar rodando aqui um pouco o jogo da Pitt. O link da UCF caiu. Acredito que seja algum erro da própria ESPN, porque os outros jogos estão funcionando normal. Vou só tentar ver como que tá o link da UCF e a gente volta aqui.
Fourth-minute goal, and UCF has struck first. Heiner de Jesus strikes first for the Knights.
Well, that is a quality finish, and that's just what you want if you're UCF, because barely 4 minutes have gone, and they find themselves a 0-0 up in the semi-final. It was a ball played in, probably meant for someone else, but De Jesus here, he just gets on the end of that one and gives the keeper, Lackland, absolutely no chance whatsoever. That is a quality finish. A good ball into feet as well, skidding off the slightly wet surface. He had a lot to do, but that is a great start for UCF.
Heiner De Jesus with his first goal for UCF this season. Coach Scott Calabrese told me his work ethic is so good, he'll be all over the place.
Yeah, good run there. Gets in between the defenders and gives the keeper no chance, and a pretty good celebration as well. Got to be careful with those celebrations, but a really good finish.
UCF looking for another laid off. Shot is off the crossbar. Memphis able to clear. What a one-time strike by Villalobos. And UCF nearly made it 2-0.
Well,
fala, galera, já chegamos aqui com o gol de brasileiro, gol do Heiner. O Luca fez um corta-luz. Realmente, o site da ESPN que estava caindo. Se ele cair alguma coisa, a gente arruma. Tava vendo umas reclamações no chat que tem lá dentro também. O Heiner brasileiro, e agora acabou de ter uma quase assistência do Luca para o segundo gol. Então o UCF está já pressionando. Vou soltar o jogo e aí a gente traz mais informações.
The Memphis coach earlier today, and he said it kind of goes without saying, but of course we don't want to dig ourselves an early hole. He said, you know, then again, last Friday night at SMU, we gave up a goal in the second minute and we were just fine, but we prefer not to have to work that way today. But Memphis, at least, has shown in the past they can play calmly and collected when they are behind.
Yeah, at the moment, you know, UCF will be delighted to have got that early goal. The best thing you can do in a semi-final match when it's winner takes all is to get that early goal, just to settle down any nerves you might have. And they nearly made it too. As we said, it's up to Memphis now to get hold of the ball and stop doing things like that, really. They've got to get the ball to feet up front. They've got to get Galeazzi into the game. And, you know, they've got a slight hill to climb here, although it is early on in the game here.
A great season for the Memphis Tigers. Picked last in the preseason conference poll and finished third. That win on the final day of the regular season thrusted them up into a tie with SMU in conference points, and by way of defeating SMU twice, they get the tiebreaker and the 3 seed. And although there are no easy outs, of course, in this league, Memphis, of course, happy that they did not have to play the host in the opening matchup and get to move up a spot.
Well, and they would have been delighted, of course, with that win at SMU. I mean, 4-1, wasn't it? And it was a great win for them to put them, you know, firmly in place here in this semi-final. But they just, you know, all of that, Josh, goes out of the window now. It's a one-off game. They want to be in the final on Saturday. You know, they've gone 1-0 down.
And there's Richard Mulrooney, 4th head coach in program history, now in his 8th year, and a gentleman with quite the resume as a player as well. 12-year MLS career, 3-time MLS Cup champion, 3-time All-Star, and he made the United States 2002 World Cup team as an alternate. And Dave, as you and I both know, about the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
Absolutely. Yeah, Richard Mulroney, you know, nice guy, but I'm sure when the push comes to shove, you know, with some of these players, he's going to tell them exactly what they need to do. He looking very calm there, and he'll want his team to grow into this first half.
I asked Coach Mulrooney what the mindset was going in to that SMU match, because it wasn't just about seeding. Their fate was still on the line. South Florida got a win on the final day of the regular season, which meant Memphis had to have a result in order to get in, as Taylor tries to slide one through. Anticipated pass knocked away by DeLuca. UCF still on the attack and possessing. Might have been hands there on the side from Peter Chang. The play on. Good ball into the corner. A leave. First time hit. Lots of traffic deflects it out. Slotted across. Here's Rosa. Overlapping run. It's a dummy run curled into the box, but headed away. A bit of a misplay nearly resulting in a corner. Memphis able to bail themselves out, though, and clear.
Yeah, they survived that little onslaught there, but it's all UCF at the moment. And Memphis have got to find a way of just getting that ball played out from the back into the midfield and then up to the front men, because at the moment, nothing is sticking, and it keeps coming back at the UCF. Here they are again. You know, Josh, at times like this, when you realize you're up against it, you're a goal down, you're not getting possession of the football, you just have to defend. They've just got to defend that box and not let anything else go in. You know, they're 1-0 down already. They've got a handball here. Just a chance here just to settle things down. I'm sure Coach Marini will be saying that. Guys, just get the ball and let's have 2 or 3 passes, because at the moment, they're not doing that.
One in the air by Ford Hunt. Dave Saunders, what are the keys to the match for Memphis?
Yeah, well, they need to feed Galeazzi, and I've just been actually saying that. They've got to find a way of getting the ball up to him, make it stick up there. And also, the second one, don't be overawed with the occasion. And maybe just at the moment, Josh, they are a little bit overawed with the occasion. But having said that, they've got a chance here to get the ball near the 18-yard box of UCF.
Parker Lackland in the back, a veteran for these Memphis Tigers. Not his first go-around in the conference tournament. Lifted into the box. Knocked out. And this will be a goal kick. Very close to being a corner. Referee all over it, though.
But as we say, you know, easing your way into the game. They'll be buoyed by that. They've managed to get the ball into the 18-yard box. Okay, no shot on frame for the keeper to save, but they'll be just feeling their way into this game, saying, okay, we've weathered a bit of a storm. Now let's just see if we can stand off here. When we can get possession of the ball, we'll put through.
Pass across, knocked away. Memphis trying to connect and work out of the back, shift things forward. They've got a run on the near side. Arta DeLuca, the man who is carrying forward. He's so often been involved in the offensive attack this year, as we expect from the outside backs, of course, but what DeLuca has really made the most of his opportunities and contributing in all areas. The Knights.
The wind is kind of swirling. When I was stood pitch side, you know, just before kickoff, it looked like it was going to be blowing from right to left as you look on your screens, but it's more of a swirling wind now. So I don't think UCF have got much advantage with the wind behind them. But it's certainly a cooler night. You know, it's good conditions really for a game of soccer, isn't it? But not affecting too much is the wind at the moment.
As long as the lightning holds off, we'll be in good shape. Good touch over the top. Again, it's DeJesus on the challenge. And the last touch a bit too far in front. Goal kick coming.
Yeah, and they defended that pretty well, did Memphis. But it just shows you how dangerous Nick Taylor and the likes of DeJesus are. Here we go. He just takes one touch too much here. But there's the Scotsman. We talked about him in the build-up. McCallum, who's going to be very, very important in the midfield, but doing that defensive work as well.
Laid off, this is DeLuca.
Now that was better from Memphis. That was again McCullum there showing that he's, you know, good on both sides of the ball there. He was just up in the number 10 position, trying to slip the ball in, but they've got a throw in over there. which Peter Chang has got across to take. But it was a really good ball threaded through. Good defending, though, it was from Loelo.
Peter Chang who had a big match in that win over SMU. Goal and an assist.
Yeah, and Chang causing some problems there on the left. He is playing on the right in the normal formation. He just did the long throw there. He's a good versatile player, and they'll be looking to the likes of him. When they get it out from defense, they need to hit the ball to him. He'll be stood right on the touchline waiting for that ball and ready to try to take on the defenders. Big player for Memphis is Chang. Memphis now enjoying just a little bit more possession of the ball. They've got themselves into this semi-final.
Chang again as he's moved back to the right side.
Good defending from Anderson Rosa, who's had one of the players with the most minutes and most starts for UCF. Good defender, plays at left back, wants to get forward whenever he can.
Into the box. Chang settles it down. Left-footed strike is just off the mark after a deflection. And the Tigers will have a corner.
What a great play from Memphis, who are a goal down, but they're really getting into this game. And that was a really good build-up, and it ended up with Chang. A deflection there. The shot nearly on frame. Nothing again for the keeper, Bernardo Brandao, to do. But UCF it is. You've got the lead. We'll see here. Ball comes in here, skidding around on the wet surface, and there was just a deflection behind.
Second strike back over, and there was another deflection on that hit from Jovan Prado. Prado is wearing number 24 tonight and not number 4 like we're used to seeing him in.
Really good pressure here from Memphis. They'd be delighted if they can convert from this corner.
Rodriguez dos Santos. Prado chasing it down.
Yeah, again, good ball in from Rodriguez dos Santos there. Left-footed ball into the box, floated up. Beautiful ball into the box. Good defending, though, from UCF. And we're going to see the long Peter Chang throw here, which will cause some problems. And really everybody back for UCF now.
Brief redirection, but just not able to angle it quite enough. Galeazzi doesn't need too many touches. He is kind of that true striker. You give him 1 or 2 in the box, and it could be good night, as he showed. His first 2 goals against SMU were about as good as you'll see anywhere.
Well, I always say that it takes some confidence even to try something like he's just tried. Didn't quite get it on target, but it was behind him. But as I said, quality players will try things like that and do things that other players, simply can't do.
First goal he had against SMU, settled it in the box after a corner, had 2 defenders to his back and was just holding up and then kind of a half bike, splitting the defenders to put it in. I asked Coach Mulrooney about it. He said, I wish we could say that, we encourage those type of acrobatic type of plays all the time, but hey, when you finish it, more power to you. And we were all happy about it, of course, but his ability to find the goal in the second, too, may have been even more impressive off a redirected header off a Peter Chang cross. Went far post, out of the reach of almost any keeper probably in the country.
And great goal scorers will win you games of football. So here's Chang's long throw. A little bit of pushing and shoving there, but you can see it's a good weapon to have, especially on a blustery night. Peter Chang can throw that ball into the box, but just coming back to the likes of Galeazzi, and also you could argue for UCF as well. Dorado, they are goal scorers that are tightly marked by defenders, Josh, but they only need one chance in a game, 1 or 2 chances, and they'll put them away. And as I said, they can win you games of football. But at the moment, neither of those have scored a goal, but they're working hard for their respective teams, and it's just a goal from UCF that separates the two sides.
UCF continues to apply pressure. There is nothing easy working out of the back for Memphis so far, and that's the way they want it.
No, you're absolutely right. They do work hard, and said that, both teams have to work hard off the ball. But I like the approach from Memphis. They've not put their heads down. They conceded early, but they've really got possession back in their favor now, and it's a really intriguing game, this one.
Chain goes down, nothing there for a call.
Good strong defending from Rosa.
A good read by Chang, too. He waited until that ball was headed off the back line before he decided which route he was going to take. Knights shift the field. Scott Calabrese, head coach for UCF in his 5th season, and his team coming into this conference tournament a little bit different than they have in past years. They were the regular season champion for 3 consecutive seasons before Tulsa claimed their first regular season title in the American this year, but it included 1 share with SMU, but 3 consecutive years for the Knights as regular season champions. And of course, last year's conference tournament winner finally able to get over that hump after they had suffered just grueling losses in the final before that. They were the host last year and defeated Tulsa in the final. We almost expected it to come down to the final day of the regular season to decide a champion, but Tulsa picked up a win at Temple the second to last weekend of the season, and UCF, I think a result that shocked everybody, fell at home 5-0 to SMU. It's no result at the end of the day as a shock, but I think more so just the score, in a sense, was shocking there.
Yeah, you're right. And they looked in control. They beat Tulsa, and then they go and have those 2 defeats, and it rather gave it away. But, credit to them. They're here. And sometimes it doesn't matter how you get here, does it, Josh? It's going to be 4 teams fighting it out over the next few days. And, it's a good matchup, this one, both of these teams. And, of course, we've got a good matchup coming up later on as well. But at the moment, 1-0 it is to UCF, but I'm liking the approach from both teams here, trying to get control of football and play the game in the right way.
I think all the coaches here would agree with you on that point. The fact that this league is so tough, and any of the 4 teams here more than capable of winning this tournament. These two split their regular season matchups. The visiting team winning on both occasions on mid-September in Memphis. UCF walked out the 4-1 victory, and then Memphis 3-0 in Orlando back on October 3rd. And it wasn't Galeazzi who found the back of the net, but he had the helper in all 3 goals. 3 of his 4 assists on the season coming in that matchup. 50-50 ball right at the edge of the 6, cleared away, and a corner coming for the Knights.
That's one of the best balls you can play in soccer. When you get to that byline and you pull it back near post, and Dorado was there trying to get ahead of the defender. To be fair, good defending, and now it's going to be, as we see here, you see this ball in here is good. There's Dorado, tries to get in front of the defender, but to be fair, that was really good defending from Meredith, and it's a corner for UCF.
Speaking of a 3-assist match, Nick Taylor had 3 assists in the win at Memphis as he takes the corner, and it's scored over the bar. Somebody swooped in to get a foot at the last second. Beto Idrach Well, the center backs coming in to get involved.
Yeah, Idrach, one of the solid back three that UCF play with, and then they play with their two wing backs, which can easily be a five at the back. Coming up from the back there, just need it rather over the bar, nothing doing.
Chang working one-on-one. Gets the cross off. Deflection, but cleared away. UCF has been home so far for that final touch they need to get the clearance as Loelio made the play that time.
They certainly have. They defended well, haven't they, inside that 18-yard box. But still Memphis coming here.
So well, in fact, for the most part, we haven't even got to talk about Bernardo Brandau, the keeper for UCF. He made his Knights debut here on this very field against Tulsa just 5 days ago, and he is the starter here this afternoon. Just taken away from Prado.
Yeah, and Brandau on that performance deserves his place in goal, doesn't he? He performed very well against Tulsa, and he's done so well tonight so far. He's done everything right. Hasn't really had a top save to make, but I'm sure, you know, Memphis will have something to say about that and work the keeper, but he deserves his spot.
Battled through injuries in 2019. Then he went back home to his home country of Brazil, and when COVID hit, after things started to clear up a little bit and soccer was reinstated, he was not able to get back to the States. So still on the roster, but not able to be with the team in the 2021 season. Long shot upper 90 from Vivi. Are you serious? Gino Vivi has doubled the lead for the Knights.
Well, we highlighted Gino Vivi. That is a strike and a half, is that one. Nothing for the keeper to do there. Parker Lackland, he could not keep that one out, and Scott Calabrese will be delighted that his team have got the second, and Gino Vivi it is with that second goal with 20 minutes left in this first half. But you'll see here, Josh, this is some skill. He fashions out the opportunity, and that is just a bullet towards the goal. Look at this, no chance for the keeper at all. 2-0, Gino Vivi, take a bow.
No one in the last
Que
2
golaço!
years
Esse
has
Gino
taken more
Vivi tá
shots
muito bem
in
na
this
temporada
league than
também,
that
da
man,
Costa
Gino
Rica também,
Vivi.
é estudante
And you
internacional.
can see why
Golaço!
they
Tô
want him
gostando muito
shooting
da
the ball
partida também do
whenever he
Luca,
gets
tá
the
conseguindo
chance.
segurar a bola lá na frente, agora ele saiu do
Absolutely.
meio
They'll
para
want
abrir
him on the
espaço
ball
pro
all the
Gino,
time.
que
He hasn't
começou
had
na ponta
a
esquerda,
lot of
veio
football,
trazendo
to
pro
be
meio.
fair, but he
Partida
fashioned
muito
out the
boa da
opportunity.
UCF.
That was
Vamos
what
ver
was
se
so good
vai
about that. He
manter
just
aí.
fashioned out that
Acabou de
little bit of
passar
space that you need,
da metade do
was able
primeiro
to
tempo.
look up and
Então vamos
find it
seguir.
into the
No campo agora de
top.
brasileiro tem o Arthur,
Nothing that the
zagueiro
keeper could have
de
done about that
Memphis, o Rainer, volante número
Challenging
20
here,
da
pressing in the
UCF,
back, doing the work.
é o
Not
Anderson,
that
lateral
he ever
esquerdo,
really
número
has a
3
bad
da
match,
UCF,
but he
e o
always
Luca
seems to
Dourado,
come
número
through
22. Então,
at the
4
crucial
brasileiros em
times.
campo, bom
If you
demais.
rewind to previous postseason matches for this UCF team, and Gino Vivi is usually involved, including their overtime win against Missouri State in the second round of the 2019 NCAA tournament. 2 assists, and then he had a goal and an assist in last spring's NCAA tournament victory over James Madison. Always finds himself in the thick of things when it really matters.
And as I said a few minutes ago, you want your big players to perform on the big stage, and this is a big stage, and Gino Vivi's done it, and he's looking for more on the left-hand side here, as UCF would be delighted if they could go in, 3-0 up or even more. It's up to Memphis now just to sit in and just not let that happen. 2 goals is, 2-0 down is not ideal, but they don't want it to be 3. Rado went down in the box there, but I don't think there was enough doing. It was a slight contact from behind. The referee was well placed to say no penalty. Well, Dorado just fires wide there, and I'm telling you, there's too much space for Coach Mulroney's liking here in the midfield. Dorado was able to just pick his spot, and you don't want to give that man in frame there too much space and time. And he just dragged his shot wide, but there's too much space for him in the midfield.
Tied for first in the American with 12 goals on the season, with Tulsa's Alex Meinhardt, who was named Offensive Player of the Year for the second straight year.
They keep coming at you, UCF. I mean, you've got the likes of Dorado up front, Vivi. It's so good. They're so talented, and it's up to Memphis really to dig in here now and defend their box well. And also, as I just alluded to, just outside the box, they've got to find a way. McCallum and the likes in the midfield have got to find a way of shutting down that space and not allowing these shots on frame that seem to be happening on a regular basis.
Has not been the most favorable this year for Memphis whenever they've given up a pair of goals. It comes a tall task after that. Send across and make it 3. Luca Dorado does find the back of the net moments after coming so close on the receiving end in the 6th. 13th goal of the year for Luca Dorado.
Well, Dorado at the right place at the right time. I mean, any goal scorer is going to thrive on that. What was he, a yard or two out, if that? And Dorado makes it 3-0, and now real mounted decline here for Memphis. They've got to get their heads up quickly and not let this slip away from them in this first half. But Dorado gets his goal. He's working hard for the team. And you'll see the assist coming in from the left-hand side here. Really good play again. He's just scored a goal as Gino Vivi, but here he gets onto the ball, slides it across the box, and there from 2 or 3 yards out is Dorado 3-0. And now Memphis really have to respond.
Tá lá. Tava até estranho o jogo da UCF sem gol do Luca ainda. Então, golaço, centroavante ali, passou a bola entre o goleiro e o zagueiro, ficou naquela indecisão. Gol de centroavante, tá lá para isso, para empurrar. Então, é isso, 3-0, vamos seguir acompanhando.
Keeping it out, they have just been under attack all match long in their defensive third.
So the iris ring is the very inside ring. And it looks like you're on
They really have them. They've been under the cosh for
aproveitar o gol do Luca, então estava todo mundo esperando, só para lembrar de curtir a transmissão, até para aparecer para mais gente. Pode ser que pessoas importantes assistam o Luca, o Rainer, o Anderson. Então, clicar aqui embaixo e se inscrever no canal também. Vamos ver o que vai ter por mais aí. Daqui a pouco eu atualizo das outras partidas que estão tendo também. Pitch, enfim, a SMU também com o brasileiro. Já eu dou uma geral em como estão os placares.
Go away from another great piece of skill here.
Trying to chip to back post. Off the line, Parker Lackland there to get it. Playing in this tournament in 2018 and 2019, Parker Lackland had a 7-save match in each of those tournaments, which was a tourney high those 2 seasons for the Tigers. A veteran in the back.
Well, and he'll be pleased to get his hands on the ball and just catch the ball. I mean, it's been that kind of a night for him. To be honest, he couldn't have done anything about the 3 goals that he's conceded. But he'll be pleased just to get that hand on the ball and just distribute well. Just a bit of a slide in there that the referee wasn't happy about. It becomes, was he in control of the tackle there? And that's why the UCF get pulled up for the foul. Free kick to Memphis.
It's Gabe Christensen, by the way, in the match for Memphis, who's wearing 21, normally wears 7. Has played a big part of the midfield this year. Tigers will make another change. Eric Primo into the match, named to the conference all-rookie team earlier this week.
Just wonder whether Memphis may have gone 3 at the back instead of the back 4, just trying to get something moving a little bit offensively here, because they've got to try and get something on the board before halftime, you would have thought. But maybe that's the reason why the Spaniard has come on to the field primo. And as I said, they've gone 3 at the back. We'll see how it settles down. I think they're going to make another change. There's a little bit of confusion here. I think Galeazzi has come off the field, or certainly he's talking to the assistant coach there.
Aproveitar aqui e mandar um alô para o Jorge do canal Outra Liga. Ele costuma entrevistar atletas do college universitário, então muito legal acompanhar o canal dele também, além de atletas do mundo inteiro. Então, atletas que podem sair do college, jogar profissional na Europa, é legal acompanhar. Então, só mandar um salve aí para o Jorge.
Clock here, I think. It's happy now, I think, that a few seconds were taken off the clock there. What we can tell you is there's now less than 14 minutes to go to half time, with UCF in a very commanding position. I think Primo has gone into a kind of a number 10 position, Josh, so I think he's gone in behind the strikers. Galeazzi did come off for a little bit of a rest. So Richard, Coach Rudy here, just switching up a little bit.
In the box, turning, layoff, chipped back, and on side net, trying to tuck it in near post. That was a hard angle to try to turn and make that cut.
Certainly was, but that man in frame can do anything, really, seemingly. He's just had, scored a tap in from a few yards out. We'll see here, but a brilliant goal line, camera there, that one just couldn't wrap his leg around, as you said, into the side netting. That remains 3-0.
Chang. Across the box, bad touch. Great one-time hit near post, but up to the challenge, Bernardo Brandao. Lineker, Rodriguez dos Santos. Pretty good strike, just not in the right spot.
It was a very decent strike, and he'll be disappointed that he didn't get it either side of the keeper there, but that is an outstanding save. Keeps it at 3-0, and that's what UCF will want. But good signs if you're a Memphis fan tuning in there. The ball came to Rodrigo dos Santos. He had time. He struck it really well, but it produced a really good save from the keeper.
Sometimes those can be the hardest, too, those ones that are just blasted right at you. You've got to make a decision on which way you're going to redirect if you can't secure it. And being really one of the first times that Brandao has been challenged all afternoon, but he was up.
He certainly was up for the task. And the thing is, you've said it right there, that, as a striker, you're disappointed when you see it back that you didn't make the keeper dive to his left or right. I mean, it was more or less at him. He just had to dive a little bit, but you really want to try and get it out of his way. Similar to the goals we've seen that UCF has scored. Gina Vivi's goal, the second one, gave the keeper no chance at all.
All the way back, Brandao goes to Idrach. Beto Idrach, he played club inside the Orlando City organization, and he played a lot as the 6, but he's so versatile. UCF has had him at both center back spots and even some time at the 8. He can play that many different.
Aproveitar até aqui a pergunta para fazer uma correção. Além dos brasileiros que eu falei, também tem o Bernardo Brandão, goleiro da UCF, é brasileiro do Rio de Janeiro, não sabia que era ele que estava jogando. E tem o Lineker também na Memphis. Então, vou botar a conta aí, acho que tem 6 ou 7 brasileiros juntando as duas equipes. Um jogo com muito brasileiro em campo. E já tiveram 2 desses 3 gols foram de brasileiro. O primeiro do Rainer e o terceiro do Luca Dourado.
3 or 4, and you got your goalkeeper performing well. It really is the foundation for a good team, and that's what they seem to have. UCF. And, if they do get through this one tonight, they'll be very hard to break down in the final as well. Long way to go, though.
The anticipation there by Dorado to apply pressure. Nothing's come easy in the back for Memphis so far.
No, that was good read by Dorado, as you said. And, it was a back pass that, to be fair to the keeper, did what he could with that one. But here come UCF again.
Something Coach Scott Calabrese talked about with Dorado. He said his work to press and close down the space, it helps our attack so much. Deserves the credit for it, just like he gave us the example of there. Advantage given.
Been impressed with the back line and the right wing back, Loelio. He's been really good, read that situation really well, tucks in from the right-hand side in the middle to help out his back whenever he needs to position it.
Giveaway. VV will carry. Cuts to the middle. Taylor plays back. VV's got it once more. Switch of the field to Rosa.
Coach Calabrese will be delighted with this first half, depending on what happens in the next 8 minutes, of course. But they knock it around so well. They're using both wings, and they all seem very, very calm on the ball. They're very professional in their approach defensively. Throughout this whole team, I've just been impressed with UCF. You've got the likes of Villalobos, who's playing really well. Vivi, Dorado, Nick Taylor as well. They're doing really, really well on the ball. And they've deservedly got their lead in this game. But as we keep saying, there's a long way to go in this. It's a semi-final, and Memphis will have a lot to say before the final whistle.
And Brackett gets a rest. Caden Wells comes on for the Tigers. It's got to be UCF to get some goals. The last two matches, just one combined. Chance for more here. Cut back in the box, hits it hard near post, and it sneaks through. And UCF has made it 4. Nick Taylor, one of the best assist man around, but he got in so deep. That was really the only option. Just hit it as hard as you can towards near post, and he gets the best result possible.
Well, you say Nick Taylor's a good assister. He's got a couple of goals, hasn't he, against Tulsa this season. He gets the 4th for UCF, and that really is the icing on the cake in a first-half performance. He gets applause from his coach. They're out of shot. But he had to wait, Nick Taylor. He had to wait, and he had to get his time. In the build-up, there was an unfortunate slip off there. But, they've taken their chance, and we'll see here. Vivi just swings it out here to Taylor. He just has a lot to do here. He's going to take on the defender. That's a great piece of skill. Out comes the keeper, and the ball is in the back of the net. Could the keeper have done better? I don't think so. He just gets nutmegged there, and that's just one of those unfortunate things. And well played, Nick Taylor. And now a Memphis mountain to climb, but they have a throw in here.
Outro golaço, bola até passou embaixo da perna do goleiro, enfim, não sei se foi falha ou não, mas a jogada em si construída. Os comentaristas, para quem tá entendendo inglês, estão elogiando muito a UCF, a calma que eles estão jogando como se fosse mais um jogo, então realmente tá impressionante o desempenho da UCF nesse primeiro tempo, 4-0, em um jogo de semifinal. Lembrando que isso aqui não é um jogo qualquer.
Eric Sigmund comes on as Ford Hunt, one of the center backs, will get a rest these final few minutes before the half. Logan Buse will get set to come on as well for the Tigers. Rodriguez dos Santos squares across. Poked through. Galeazzi trying to get there, but Brandau off the line in time. That was something we saw from him on Friday night in the final regular season matchup against Tulsa. He was very confident and very committed to his decisions from the very start of that match. For a guy making his collegiate debut, it was really impressive.
It was, and he's had a good night tonight. And when you've got the likes of Galeazzi breathing down on you, you've got to be solid in your decision making. But it just shows you can't take him, because Galeazzi was just a few inches away from being able to have a shot on target there.
Overlapping run, first touch into the box. To the back, Vivi! Sliding challenge at the last second to save the day, and UCF will have a corner.
Well, I'm telling you, that man in frame there, take a bow. That was the best piece of defending that we've seen. You see here how Vivi has thinks I've got a shot on frame there. I've only got the keeper to beat. Cross comes the defender, and that is really, really good defending from Eric Sigmund.
One of the things certainly you've got to appreciate about Gino Vivi is his motor, if anything, is amped up as this match has gone on. Cleared away on first touch, laid back. We'll say along, but for Vivi, it's like he has no comprehension of the score. It doesn't matter to him. He's going 110%.
Well, you make a very good point, because he is outstanding offensively, but just a few moments ago, we saw him back there chasing a ball in the defense because, he was trying to keep the ball in to get it going from their own deep third there. Peter Chan comes off for a bit of a break here, but you're right. Those top players, they just, it amps them up, doesn't it? And he'll be looking at that board saying, okay, it's 4-0, but I'm going to treat it like it's a 0-0. We'll go from there.
All the way back here, having to really hustle. A little bit more drama on that maybe than what the Knights were hoping for. Chested back, Rodriguez dos Santos on ball, and a foul just inside of the arc, but outside of the 18. And Memphis will have perhaps their best opportunity to net one here in the first half. Rodriguez dos Santos with that first touch, and it puts Soren Ellis in a bit of a compromising position. Enough contact to force the referee to make a call. A good chance here for the Tigers to try to strike and have something going into the half. Eric Primo. DeLuca instead will take it. Deflected high over the bar. Corner coming from Memphis. Team that led the conference in corners this year. They averaged 6.5 per contest. Not only tops in the league, but top 20 in the nation. Primo on the corner, low, curling in, near post, and it's off of the back post. Second chance, sent over the bar. It might have been Galeazzi that got a brief redirection on it at near post. The last second, right off the head of UCF, Idrach. Final minute of the first half. UCF's attack has been consistent. Reiner de Jesus netting the first goal in the 4th minute. UCF has not taken their foot off the gas since. Taylor lays it off. Late cross, just not enough time to turn it from Loelio. Deflection though, and UCF will have yet another. One touch on it from Dorado, but in the right spot was Parker Lackland. Dorado getting a touch in the box that can normally be dangerous. Lackland there to thwart it off. Halftime, one more look at that corner. The fancy backheel touch. Dorado, but Lackland is right there. And Dave Saunders is down on the sidelines with head coach Reese.
Coach, 4-0 at halftime. Couldn't have gone any better, could it?
No, it was a really good start to the game. We were able to execute the game plan that we have. The guys have been really, really good in possession and in the final third, obviously. We've played 45 good minutes, but we got 45 left to go that we have to take care of. Got to take care of the ball and have to defend very well.
4 quality goals. I guess the game plan now, don't let them get back in it.
Oh, 100%. You know, there are things that Memphis is here for a reason. They're very good on set pieces, as you saw. They're very good with long throws. When they, at that last moment there, they got a direct free kick by playing a little bit more direct. So I'm sure they're going to go back in that locker room with a plan to get back in the game.
Thanks, Coach. We'll let you get back in the locker room with your boys.
Thank you so much.
Well, in this conference tournament, it's all UCF.
You know, college is a small window in time, but it changes you forever. There's research and discovery, creativity and boldness, friendships and purpose. This is your Me Plus Memphis journey, where you find your voice.
Fala, galera, só para lembrar também quem já está acompanhando as transmissões, quando é intervalo, eu só tiro o áudio para não ter problema com direito autoral das propagandas e tudo mais. Mas aí quando for voltando a transmissão, melhores momentos, eu volto e ativo o áudio de novo, beleza? Aí eu já volto aí.
one game with Lopez in goal. He allowed just 11 goals in 14 games, putting him at number 1 in the conference in goals against average. For the full list of honorees and the all-conference teams, visit theamerican.org. Welcome into the American Athletic Conference studios. I'm Morgan Uber. The American Championship has brought some exciting action in years past. Let's take a look at some of the more interesting tournament PowerPoints that you might not know about the tournament. The last 8 American Men's Soccer Championships final has gone to overtime 6 times and has ended in a draw on 5 occasions. 4 straight years from 2013 to 2016 and again in 2018. Penalty kicks were needed to decide the conference tournament champ, an automatic qualifier to the NCAA tournament. The number 1 seed has reached the championship match just 5 times, and those have all come in the last 5 years. The top seed and host is 2-2-1 in the conference final in that span. Tulsa and SMU lead the conference with 3 championships apiece. The only other teams to take home the trophy, the South Florida Bulls and UCF Knights. The War on I-4 rivals have done so each just once. For more on American men's soccer, be sure to visit theamerican.org and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
Que vai ser esse ano. Provavelmente pode ser que a gente tenha até uma UCF contra a SMU. Então a gente vai ter todos os brasileiros da UCF contra o Gabriel Costa da SMU, que também tem sido destaque, também foi ao Conference. Então, essa conferência está cheia de brasileiros se destacando. Então, já deve voltar o jogo e a gente continua.
At halftime, and UCF 4-0. They lead Memphis at halftime, and it was very consistent pressure from UCF. They just never let off in that first 45 minutes.
You're absolutely right, Josh. I mean, from the whistle, they went for it, and as we heard from Coach Gallagher, he's absolutely delighted, and it all started like this. It was the first goal, and De Jesus there with a quality finish and a quality acrobatic celebration.
20 minutes later, Gino Vivi with a strike from distance, and no doubt or nothing that Lackland could do in goal.
And then how about this? Vivi, who just scored a goal, turns assister, and Dorado's not going to miss an opportunity like that. 3-0.
And if that wasn't enough, Vivi slots it into the corner. Nick Taylor works towards the goal, and just one option here. Hit it as hard as you can and low, and he's somehow able to sneak it through. 4-0 advantage for UCF after 45 minutes in the best case scenario that they could have imagined. On the other side, though, for Memphis, it's been nightmarish. They have earned 4 corner kicks, but they've spent very little time on UCF's half of the field.
Yeah, and I think the shots on goal tells a bit of a story, doesn't it? They've only had 1 shot on goal, well saved by the goalkeeper. They've got to find a way of working the goalkeeper. They've got 45 minutes left. They don't want to go out with a wimp here. They've got to come out and they've got to force some shots on goal and turn this game around.
Coach Richard Mulrooney has talked about how vital the opening segments of each half will be, and the Tigers will certainly need to get something offensive going in the early stages for the second half. UCF leading the semifinal 4-0 over Memphis. We'll be back from Tulsa in a moment. Second semifinal, and the winners will battle it out here in Tulsa on Saturday night. UCF, the defending conference tournament champions. These two met up twice in the regular season. Each time it was the visiting team that won. Had to look back to see if maybe, just maybe, they had ever met in Tulsa before. They did back in postseason play in 2011. And in fact, it was a decade and a day ago, back in 2011, and UCF won a thriller right here on this very field over Memphis 4-3 in overtime. And it came after Memphis equalized in the 89th minute. Chandler Gagnon with the equalizing goal before UCF's Macaulay Tulloch netted the game winner in the 95th to give him a hat trick for the match. I asked Richard Mulrooney, who he was not on staff yet at Memphis when that match happened 10 years ago, but the man who scored that equalizer, Chandler Gagnon, was just a freshman at that time. So he was still with the team when Coach Mulrooney came in 2013 as an assistant, and then the head coach in 2014. And as soon as I mentioned that, he said, "Oh yeah, Chandler, he's a great kid. He's a Memphis kid. He's got a family now, 3 kids. We still see him around." It was amazing that a player 10 years ago, he still knew exactly what he was doing and stays that connected with his players.
Well, and he'll want to make some memories in this second half. There they are, the boys who've got to come from 4 down. It is a mountainous task, but, you know, it's a strange old game. If they can get an then the second one, suddenly UCF, you know, they get a little bit nervous. It's a semi-final. I'm sure Coach Mulrooney would have said to them, look, guys, you've got 45 minutes left of your season, unless you can turn this round, of course, and then you've got another game on Saturday. There's nothing to lose here. They've got...
Well, there hasn't been anything that's been able to get into the psyche of this Memphis team this year. I remember talking to Coach Mulrooney a few weeks ago before a regular season match, and he said, you know, even after we started 1-6-1, I came out the very next day for practice. The guys were already going. They didn't wait for me to get out there to start. They were doing 5v2, playing really hard, working on crosses in the box. The energy was high. He said that's just how this group has been. You can't beat them down. They're just up all the time. That's what they'll need in this second half. And that man wearing number 12, Maxi Galeazzi, he only knows how to score in bunches. They'll see if they can get him going. UCF, though, not to be overshadowed. You got to give the back line credit for the Knights so far. They have had a tight lid on things in the few occasions when the ball has come back there, but UCF has done a marvelous job in pressing forward and really not allowing anything to materialize in the midfield.
Also, as we said, there's a bit of a wind picking up, and they will have the wind behind them, Memphis. So as UCF did in the first half, hit some shots from outside the box, test the goalkeeper, and see if you can get back on the board.
Been eyeing the weather all week long, and there was a 100% chance that there were going to be some storms coming through here tonight at some point. At least right now, they are to the west of us by a little bit, but rain was certainly inevitable here tonight. Just a matter of when it would come and how heavy it would be. But the storm so far created by UCF. Have to feel good for the Knights. They were due a single goal here in the regular season finale last Friday night. 2-1 loss to Tulsa, and prior to that, they were shut out 5-0 on their home field to SMU. And this is a team that is not used to being held down offensively. UCF, one of the nation's best, in fact. 2.4 goals a game, ranks 9th in the nation. And usually it comes by way of helpers. 32 out of 36 goals they've assisted on. Sliding out, Lackland's getting a piece, and we've got a penalty coming as Lackland slid out.
Well, that's just what you don't need if you're Memphis. And the referee had a good think about that. And I think part of the reaction there from the goalkeeper, he knew, kind of gave the game away because he knew that he'd fouled there, and a real chance now for UCF. You have to say to probably put this game away, although it is early. And from the spot they were going, just see here, ball going through, and out comes the goalkeeper. There's the trailing leg, and it's a penalty kick.
Giannis Learman, the center back, to take it. Hard, low, and into the corner. Textbook finish from Giannis Learman, and UCF has made it 5-0 here less than 3 minutes into this second half.
And you've got to feel a bit sorry for Coach Mulrooney, who would have talked to his players. There's the goalkeeper. He's annoyed with himself as well, but he would have said, look, 4-0 down, you've got nothing to lose. Get out there. Don't give anything away early. And they have. They've done just that. There's the goalkeeper going the wrong way. It's 5 for UCF. Mounted decline for Memphis.
Outro gol no inicinho do jogo, menos 2 minutos, 1 minuto e pouco. Sofrido pelo brasileiro, Rainer, de novo chegando bem. Ele fez o primeiro gol com 4 minutos de jogo e com 1 minuto do segundo tempo sofreu pênalti. Até acho que como uma forma de homenagem deixaram o zagueiro, que é capitão do time, bater. Poderia ter sido o Luca para aumentar a estatística, enfim, brigar lá pela artilharia, mas legal ver o espírito da galera dar essa moral para o zagueiro bater. O Luca ainda vai fazer mais um aí, talvez.
They're all skillful players, and yet it's the centre back who comes up and solidly puts the ball away. It's 5-0.
Just able to save it before it went across the line. UCF, though, able to control. No danger now as they try to work out of their own defensive third. Clean sliding challenge to slow down a potential counter.
Yeah, and that's what's been needed a little bit more in this early in the second half, and also in that first half. A few more tackles going in this semi-final hasn't really happened, and it's allowed UCF to score some good goals unattended. So I want more of that to take some pride out of this.
Carrying forward, Villalobos. Randall was well out in front. Be prepared for any ball over the top. It might create an opportunity. Randall making just his second appearance for UCF. His Knights debut this past Friday night on this field against Tulsa. And it was well deserved. Coach Calabrese said he's earned the right for that opportunity, and it's a guy that obviously he's got that prototype goalkeeper frame, but he said he gives us a presence back there. Very good with his feet as well. He's played well so far, and the chances that he's had, not too many opportunities, but able to turn away a couple of shots from the Tigers in the first half.
Well, it's a coach's delight, isn't it? If you've got a goalkeeper you can trust in, and in front of him you've got that back three that's so solid, and two wing backs, and you go on and on and on. The talent you got up front, it's a great side that UCF have got here. Still no way through for Memphis. Now they're going to watch it at the other end.
Dorado with a head of steam. Vivi cuts in, trying to set up that right foot again. Pinballs around, and a player down for Memphis.
I think it's McCallum who threw himself at it. Nobody's hurt more than him in this team for being 5 down, and he did really well. But what a ball from Dorado then, just without almost looking. He knew where Vivi is, and that's a really potent attack. Look at that. That's a ball from Dorado there. And just coming into shot here is Vivi, and you'll see here, here's how the injury is. And it's not McCallum, actually, but you can see there the injury on the edge of the box.
Good to see that Eric Sigmund is back up.
Yeah, Sigmund got some blood on his face there, but he produced a really fine tackle in the first half, and he's worked hard there, and he'd be disappointed to get that injury.
Defenders carry that little extra bit of toughness, though. I'd be willing to bet he's probably going to come back on at some point. One more look at it. Deflection and right back into the face. Oh, came off the back heel of Bryce Meredith.
Luke Birdsong will come in at the back for Memphis. Not an enviable task, Josh, is it, when you come on as a defender and your team's already 5 goals down, but he's got to come in and do it for his team. The other thing that UCF have done is to really stifle the balls coming through to Galeazzi. He's not had a lot to feed on tonight. There's Galeazzi. Still working hard, very passionate about the game though. He'll be hurting, being 5 goals down. Still 39 minutes to go.
Shot deflected out. UCF looking to counter. Levy, smart to keep possession, didn't try to force anything. Squared across. Levy again. Good defending in the back. Logan Buse stayed true, forced Rosa to make that first move before he attacked. Well defended by Buse.
And again, another strength of UCF, that man who was in shot there, Rosa, he's one of the back three, and he was up there attacking down the left-hand side, but they had cover. It's such a well-drilled team as this UCF team.
Anderson Rosa, team leader in minutes, second team all-league selection, as well as both of these teams had plenty of players, including this one. Dorado looking for far post.
Well, Dorado there by his own standards, he'll want that one back. He fashioned out the opportunity. He was driven wide, but he just drags it across goal there. And he apologizes because he knows that he can do better than that, get a shot on target. But his team are 5-0 up, so they won't be too concerned. And what they'll be pleased about UCF is they're still getting the ball to their front men and fashioning out some opportunities.
This Memphis team has only been shut out twice in their last 8 games. Once here on this field against Tulsa back on October 22nd, and then on Halloween in a scoreless draw against South Florida. And that positive result, though, set them up for the opportunity to control their own destiny and get into the tournament. And they were ready to go last Friday night down in Dallas at SMU. Coach Mulroney said, we knew it was a tough challenge. It was final game of the regular season, playing on the road, SMU's senior night. There was a lot of things that could have factored into saying this might not go our way, but these guys, they didn't buy into any of that. They showed up to play, and after giving up an early goal, it's not too far off the mark. Rosa again having a strike.
Yeah, Rosa there just found himself in the central midfield, and that we'll keep an eye on that. Might be a little switch there, although I think it's temporary, as the number 15, Serenos Alelis, is in the midfield now, and Rosa goes back to that back three position. But they're still coming at Memphis, so UCF, it's up to Memphis now to try and force things and get a goal.
Sometimes different things can force teams to have to recreate their identity, who they are, what they want to try to do from a formation standpoint. But Calabrese said the way that we do things, it's not as a result of anything. It's by design. They've been able to stick to what they do over the last handful of years in their approach. But a lot of those guys, one of the common themes is just the versatility, as you just pointed out with Rosa. And they've got a roster full of guys like that that can work themselves around and play different spots and play them well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they really do it. It's very difficult to play against them because they're so versatile. They can switch things around. They pretty much kept to the same formation tonight. And why change it when you've got 4 in the first half and you've added a 5th in the second? But they're very difficult to play against, as you said, because of utility.
Taylor trying to get back and help defensively. Whistle for that foul. They're still working despite the lead.
That was a decent ball into the box, but on the end of it, there was the number 11, Rodrigo dos Santos, but he just couldn't direct his header across, into the danger area. And that's been a bit of a story of the night for Memphis. They've not been able to create meaningful opportunities from plays like that. They did have a shot in the first half, well saved, but that's about as good as it's got so far in this game.
Rodriguez dos Santos, he can find that final attack. Whether he's the one to finish, we'll see where play is developing for an opportunity, and he had the play that started everything to get Memphis' first goal in that last match at SMU. It was a takeaway in the midfield, and a quick 1-2 pass that he got right back and then played to the middle. Memphis was able to score quickly after taking possession. It was all started by Lineker Rodriguez dos Santos. Trying to find ways to get that man, Maxi Galeazzi, the ball has been a challenge.
And just in that last play there, Josh, it was just slightly overhit. And again, that's where the night balls hasn't come into Galeazzi's feet.
Vivi had a head of steam on the overlap. They saw him in time as he came from that backside, kind of the blind side of Taylor.
I think Memphis might be making a change in goal. A few moments.
In the box, trying to set up the right foot. Shot deflected away. Galeazzi.
And again, just when you think Galeazzi's in on goal, across comes the defender. They've defended so well of UCF. They've not given anything to Memphis, although here's a corner. Just see here, Galeazzi here, one touch here, but what terrific defending from Edrach.
Goal kick coming now as Memphis trying to split a couple of defenders and get in. Scott Calabrese's crew has scored early and often. As you look at what they've done, maybe the most impressive thing, 5 different players.
5 different scorers, and like you say, you get that early goal, it settles you down, then 4 up. It's given Memphis, but well played UCF. They've really taken this first semi-final by the scruff of the neck.
Play through Vivi, trying to cut back. Vivi off a deflection, it goes home. A rocket that he kept low, and it caught a brief deflection off a defender. Second of the night for Gino Vivi.
And what he does really well here, Josh, is he doesn't panic. He doesn't get the first opportunity away, but he says, do you know what? I'm going to keep possession of the ball. I'm going to wait for the opportunity. And in the end, he blasts it home. Like you said, it did get a little deflection. And Gino Vivi is excited as Memphis now make a goalkeeping change. But you'll see here, he waits, but he just hits the ball so well. Here you see, gets possession inside the area. Defender gets a little toe and he thinks, no, I'm going to wait here. Here I go. A little drag back, shot, 6-0, game over.
Gino Vivi with his 6th goal of the season.
I think we were saying that's the second time they have scored 6 this season, so they are used to scoring goals this season. I'm sure when they woke up this morning thinking about the semi-final, maybe they didn't think they were going to have 4 at half-time and then go 6, and it could get even worse for Memphis if they don't dig in here, and they're playing for pride, because UCF now are just going to knock the ball about just to come and get it and try and get some opportunities on goal.
Slotted across, sliding down. That might have went off the feet of the keeper. Welsh, second chance, able to turn it away. Just into the match, the freshman Colin Welsh, and both keepers this season, when they've gotten their opportunities for Memphis, had played really well. Parker Lackland is the veteran from Dallas, and Colin Welsh, the freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, who was named to the all-conference rookie team. Under pressure early on, right after checking in.
Yeah, well done to Welsh there, because it's not easy coming on as a goalkeeper and then you have to on, but he will be delighted to have got that save. Again, UCF are just going to keep coming at Memphis tonight.
Alessandro Campoy into the match for UCF.
And if we might see a few substitutes from Coach Calabrese now, because obviously they're looking one eye now on Saturday evening. I know it's a few days to recover, but any minutes that he can kind of pull back, as it were, for some of his top players, he might well be thinking about that now. Still a long way to go, though. Still just under half an hour.
Run quite a ways for that? Did you have to run quite a ways for that?
Apologize for the technical difficulties as off the line Welsh comes way out of the box to take charge and ensure the attack slowed down. UCF continuing to work here, though. A few fresh legs into the match as well.
Yeah, and as I alluded to, Dorado, the top goal scorer, he'll be rested now for what we think will be the final for UCF on Saturday. Memphis will still have something to say. Peter Chang comes back into it, but sensible from Coach Calabrese. He'll be looking out for the players to put their coats on. VV is still on the field. Villalobos, they might be looking to maybe rest them when there's 20 or 15 to go. There's the hard-working Vivi again. He's a great goal scorer. He's also very hard-working for his team.
2 goals tonight for VV, and the most recent of which gave UCF their 6th of the night, which is an American Conference Tournament record. Stands all alone. A few times teams have been able to net 5, including most recently UCF in the 2019 tournament, but 6 is a new conference record. Rain falling down here in Tulsa just adds to the drama that was already here for what we knew would be a great tournament. And Tulsa and SMU await. They'll have our second semifinal. And those two have played twice this year into double overtime. Tulsa winning here on their home field for a scoreless draw in Dallas just a few weeks ago. Rosa having a go. After the deflection, he had a little space to run down the middle.
And I think a little space to run down the middle has been said several times tonight. It happened early on in the first half as UCF make another substitution, but Rosa there again, the freedom of the field, running down the middle, and he just got slightly underneath it and it went over the bar. But that's something that Memphis have allowed UCF to do, is to shoot from outside the box, and that's something Memphis haven't been able to do themselves. So they might want to finish this game with a few shots on target with 23 and a half to go.
Vivian close quarters able to work out of it. Knights keep possession up to the other side of the field now as DeJesus settles back. UCF is not the team, of course, that you want to be chasing goals against. Not that it's ever a good thing, but if there's a team that's built to hold on to a lead, once you start having to push up and try to play offensive, to play catch up, you leave yourself susceptible, as UCF has shown here tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure the game plan from Memphis would have been, and they did. They sat off, they let them have possession, but it would have been, we'll hang into this game, we won't let them score the goals, and unfortunately they did. They scored 4 in that first half, which is, but here come Memphis with a shot, and still trying, you know, they've never given up, to be fair, and trying to finish this strongly in this semi-final, but they've come up against a very, very tough side in UCF, who've been very, very organised tonight and scored some great goals.
Player slow to get up there for Memphis was Bryce Meredith. He made his Tigers debut here in Tulsa back in late October after recovering from a foot injury. Had to miss majority of early part of the season. Spent the last 2 years at Lehigh, so a veteran player, not inexperienced by any stretch, but has really played well. And Coach Richard Mulrooney applauded his ability to step in after getting back healthy from that injury, but being able to step in immediately, and has played a big role down the stretch for Memphis that put them in this conference tournament.
Yeah, it's a shame when you have to come off injured there, but Luke Birdsong will be delighted to get on. The 6'2" sophomore from Ohio into the back line.
Arcangeli will come back to get it. Tripped up from behind. Zion Wagner on the attack, was holding it up, trying to wait for a little bit of help if possible. They get into the heels, and a chance here for Memphis.
Yeah, there's been a clean game. There's been very few fouls and certainly no malicious fouls. And referee, I think, stopping the clock, I thought he was going to show a yellow card, but I think he's just saying a little bit of attention needed for Eric Primo here, who's down there, as you can see. So the clock stopped, and Memphis have a chance here. We'll just see, good run from Wagner here, and he just gets clipped there. Certainly wasn't last man, because you saw that Yanis Learman was behind there, so it wasn't last man. So I think the referee's chosen not to give a card, but I think he is going to go and have a little word in passing to the defender.
So Eric Primo will be helped off It's a big loss in the midfield. He was named to the all-rookie team in the conference, had an assist in the win at UCF back in early October. Just a freshman, one of those underclassmen that has the future looking bright for this Memphis team.
Good goalkeeping. Came out, made a decision, double-fisted it away. Colin Welsh with the ball into the box.
Primo's right back to the sideline, ready to come in. We're seeing the fight that we talked about with this Memphis team, aren't we? A couple of guys have had to come out due to injury at different times. It's a 6-0 match. They can't wait to get back in. There's no quit.
No, there's no quit. I mean, you're in the semi-final and you want to perform well. And unfortunately, it's not gone their way tonight, barring a miracle. They will not be in the final. They're going to try to get something on frame here, but they haven't quit. They've got up, they've got on with it. And well done to them for keeping going. Never easy when you're being beaten by 5 or 6.
Scott Calabrese for UCF and his staff, associate head coach Paul Souders, Jamie Davies, and Kyle Vaz. They had this group ready to go. Another opportunity deflected away. And head off frame. Alessandro Campoy pulled the trigger. They've been happy to have him back. He was out for just over a month, had a fractured bone in his face. The match at Temple, and he was wearing a mask all the way through the final regular season match as Galeazzi comes back on for the Tigers.
Yeah, Galeazzi, as we said, big player, needs to produce something spectacular now. He would love to get on the score sheet. There's a lot of praise for Dorado, the top goal scorer for UCF, and Galeazzi. They embraced each other before the kickoff. Great respect for them. Galeazzi will want a goal here tonight. And, you know, again, praise UCF because the players that have come in, Josh, and taken the places of, you know, what, let's be honest, are the first 11 players have just come in and been quality as well. Nothing has really changed. You come in with Coach Calabrese's team and you take your opportunity. And some of these guys don't get many minutes because of the quality of UCF. So they're taking that tonight.
Shove in the back. Draws the flag, and it'll be a free kick, and not a favorable part of the field for Memphis, but it was good shielding initially. Jose Maria Ojeda.
Yeah, no need for Vivi to do that. And, you know, good referee, no cards needed to be produced, and he has a little word in the ear of Vivi and says, just don't do that again and spoil the occasion. Free kick now for Memphis on halfway. Excuse me, for UCF. I thought the referee pointed in Memphis's direction there.
He did initially, you're not wrong. Coach Calabrese for UCF has talked a lot about having the right mentality, bringing the right energy. His team came out, struck first very quickly. Enter De Jesus in the 4th minute, able to score the opener, and they have continued the intensity all match long. And we'll have some rest for Saturday night's championship match. SMU and Tulsa battle it out in our second semifinal coming up later tonight. And for everybody's sake, just hoping that the weather holds off. Lightning really the only thing that could slow us down. It'll be a tremendous match, though. Tulsa and SMU going to double overtime both occasions of the regular season. Tulsa winning the first with just 7 seconds to go. Offensive Player of the Year, Alex Meinhard, with the brace for Tulsa on that night.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for ordering the English weather for me, my friend. But I think now it's picking up with the storms a little bit. It's not so English-like. But yeah, it's a nice night, really, honestly, to play a game of football. There is a bit of swirling wind around, but it hasn't spoiled the game. When you get that really strong wind, then that's the worst conditions to play, and it can spoil a game of football. Credit Memphis again. They're not giving this one up. They found it hard tonight, but, credit UCF as well. They don't want to have anything against their name in this one. They're 6 up, and they're not going to let Memphis through. But Memphis are working hard. And as I said a few minutes ago, it's never easy when you're being beaten by this scoreline to, keep going. But they have kept going, and that's good spirit that they've built throughout the season.
Well, they can call it a night now for Gino Vivi, and what a night it was. He will come out. Lucas Mauro, sophomore from Sao Paulo, Brazil, will come on.
Strong challenge, deemed fair. But, you could argue now the front four for UCF are all from the bench. They're going to make another substitution in a few moments as well. They've kept the back three and the goalkeeper the same. Bill Lovelace, the captain, still in the central midfield. They're making changes aplenty, and that's sensible, isn't it? With less than 15 to go, and you now have another game on Saturday evening.
All the extra rest possible will help. Especially with the very realistic possibility that, who knows, final could go into extra time if it's anything like what we've seen in past years. Not last season, however, kind of breaking the trend a little bit, but all of the finals have been close, and who knows, there could be a good chance that extra time or even penalties are needed to decide the conference tournament champion. Tulsa coming in as the number 1 seed, the regular season champion. They know that they are locked into the NCAA tournament and have a great shot at being able to host perhaps multiple games, and certainly have earned that right. They moved up to 2nd in this week's United Soccer Coaches rankings, but for everybody else, they know that they need that automatic bid by winning this tournament. If they are going to get into the NCAA, it's going to come by way of winning this tournament. UCF played like a team who was potentially facing their final match here tonight.
Callum's worked hard in the midfield. The Scotsman there, he's not given up, and none of the Memphis players have, I hasten to add, but Callum's worked hard in there. It's a frustrating night for him.
Second team all-conference selection, Toby McCallum. Coach Mulroney said he's that true number 8, good tackling. He can play the long diagonal ball for us, can dribble out of pressure, connects things so well. He said he's our high-octane engine in the middle. They knew they had something immediately when he stepped foot on campus. Good ball through, trying to send it back towards the top of the box. Cleared away, Tigers throw.
Yeah, one of the best Memphis moves in the second half. Really good play down the right-hand side, ball dragged back, but good positioning by the defenders. As we get a couple of substitutions from each team. Caleb Frankie comes in. And Hedara comes in as well for UCF. It's Memphis who are finishing this game strongly. We've still got over 11 minutes to go.
Are we not going to leave Nashville? We're still going to play? Yeah,
Corner to Memphis. So good response from the team that's trailing by 6-0 here, trying to finish and get a goal on the scoreboard.
Lineker Rodriguez dos Santos sending it in. Had it up just over the bar.
Yeah, Galeazzi there was just underneath him, couldn't really get a good header on frame. Goes away harmlessly for a goal kick. Some good pressure from Memphis, and now UCF will build from the back.
It's been a frustrating night so far for number 12, Maxi Galeazzi, but what a fantastic season in his first with Memphis, the senior. He got his bachelor's, and then he went into the transfer portal as he was playing there, right there in town at Christian Brothers University. And Coach Mulrooney said we'd always play them, you know, in a scrimmage type exhibition early on in the year before the regular season got going, being a crosstown team. And we were always impressed by him. And he said the first time I saw him, I said, who is this man we're playing against? So the second he went into the transfer portal and reached out to Coach Mulrooney, said, hey, would there be any interest? Coach Mulrooney said, yeah, I think maybe just a little bit. They knew that he was going to be tremendous. He said, but what's even more impressive than the stats for Galeazzi is that how good he's been for this team in the locker room, in practice, off the field, just the level that he brings, and was immediately made a captain, and there was not anybody on the team who disagreed with it. Just brings a special aura to the game. Shot well struck, not far off of target, but for Galeazzi and Memphis has been a great season.
Yeah, it's been a great season. He'll be proud of what he's achieved this season. He'll be bitterly disappointed. Nobody will feel it more than him with them going down and tonight, but he will be desperate to get on the score sheet and show everybody that he is a great player, a good goal scorer, but he's up against the likes of Liam, and now he wins that header. It's been a tough night for him. It's been a tough night for Coach Mulrooney there. 4-0 down at half-time. There has been a bit of a response. The fifth goal went in quicker than he would have liked in the second half.
Squared wide. Chang comes back to help.
Going to see a couple more UCF substitutions, Josh. So pretty much the outfield players are all going to be changed up before the end of this one. It's their precious minutes just to get ready now and prepare themselves physically and mentally for the final on Saturday evening.
Step over, late cross, diving off of near post. Colin Welsh able to turn it away.
Yeah, Lucas Morrow did really well there. You thought he was going to fire that one in, but he said, no, I'm going to take it a little bit further. I'll take it to the byline, pull it across. But as you said, Colin Welsh there was at his best, diving away, palming it away. Welsh has done well since he's come on in goal. And we're going to see another couple of substitutions. Villalobos, the captain, takes a well-earned rest, and Idrach, who we've said is such a good player. Orbach will come on, the Italian. Here, Morrow gets to the line here, pulls it across. Good save from the goalkeeper.
Another cross in, and once more, Colin Welsh, the freshman, is there. Led the conference nearly 5 saves per game, and as mentioned, they were blessed to have 2 keepers of the caliber they did. Parker Lackland, who was the starter tonight, he started in the regular season finale. He was tremendous with 6 saves in that win at SMU.
And I feel sorry for Lackland because he couldn't really do anything about the 4 goals in the first half. They were tremendous goals. He couldn't do anything about it. And then, unfortunately for him, he comes out and he's just missed time to challenge and give him the penalty away. But he shouldn't be too disappointed. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper and he's got a good future ahead of him.
Terrific career he's had for the Tigers. UCF bound for the conference tournament final, though, yet again. Every year going back to 2017, they were heartbroken in the final those first 3 seasons, and then last year finally able to break through on their home field down in Orlando, able to beat Tulsa 1-0. The spring campaign after the fall season had to be delayed due to COVID-19, but UCF going back to the NCAA tournament last year and winning the regular season for the third consecutive time in the spring as well.
I would say again, well done Memphis for not giving this one up. 6 down, but still coming forward, but just overrun it there. It just hasn't been the night. Just little things like that, Josh. Ball would have stayed in on a different night when it's going well for you. That one just rolls away for a goal kick. But again, credit to UCF, who defended well when they've had to. They've been solid in the center of the park, and they've got some quality players going forward, and they've scored some quality goals tonight.
Coach Calabrese and company, 2-time conference coaching staff of the year, and that conference tournament title was the first for UCF last season. Galeazzi tripped up by Mauro.
So real last chance really here for Memphis to get players into the box. They'll dump this one into the 18-yard box and see what drops here, but UCF will not want to give anything away. Memphis just want to get this consolation goal on the board. Everybody back for UCF. That's been the kind of night that it's been, because there's an offside, and that chance goes begging again over the top. We just see it here. See the ball in here. It's just too far and high, and anyway, it was an offside. So it's been that kind of night really for Memphis.
It's exactly the kind of night that UCF was hoping for, and they've made it happen for themselves, give them credit, but coming off of 3 consecutive losses to end the regular season. Just an absolute heartbreaker to South Florida back on October 22nd, 4-3 in overtime for losing 5-0 at home to SMU, and then on this field 5 days ago to Tulsa in the finale. So to drop your final 3 of the regular season, they were not a team that came in with momentum, but they were certainly a team that came in motivated.
Certainly were. Motivation's what's needed in these one-off games. Absolutely delighted with this performance.
It's had its ups and downs. Before that 3-match losing streak, they had won 3 straight, a streak that started with that home win over Tulsa back on October 10th, 3-2. It was the only loss that Tulsa suffered this season. And they not only defeated Tulsa, but also followed that up with a win over SMU, who was ranked at the time 2-1, and that was on the road. And then a win at Temple. Campos sails it long, just trying to blast one near post. Didn't quite get the knee over it. Inside of the final 2 minutes. There's Artur DeLuca, first team all-conference. Game-winning penalty kick in the 99th minute in that upset over 10th-ranked SMU back in early October. Rosa has been determined to create opportunities forward and just would not come off a ball there until a foul was committed. Anderson Rosa, all conference yet again. Caleb Frankie was wanting a foul. Stay with us at the end of regulation of our MVP, and Dave Saunders will be down on the field to talk with the most valuable player as well as UCF head coach Scott Calabrese. Now we're on the attack, but well defended off at the end. Sigmund, who was able to return after that deflection, hit him in the face, showing the toughness. Time winds down here in Tulsa, and one team has locked in their spot in the conference tournament final. UCF, a 6-0 victory. They are in the final on Saturday night. We'll take a quick timeout and be back to talk with our MVP of the match and the head coach, Scott Calabrese.
They say we aren't ready. E é isso, galera. 6-0 para UCF, enfim, dominaram o jogo. No final ali já botaram mais gente até para rodar, poupar. E é isso, garantindo vaga na final. Vamos pegar o vencedor de Tulsa contra a SMU. Como eu falei, a nossa torcida que acaba ficando para a SMU por causa do Gabriel Costa, atacante, também All Conference. Passando, vai ter a final no sábado, ainda vai ser decidido o confronto. Eles vão mostrar agora o MVP, provavelmente vai ser o jogador da Costa Rica, o Dino Vivi, fez 2 gols. E no mais é isso, vou deixar soltar só essa final com a entrevista, escutar um pouco do treinador, o que ele está esperando para a final, e aí a gente encerra a transmissão. Só lembrar de novo para pedir para todo mundo, família do Luca Dourado tá por aqui, do Anderson, para deixar o like aqui. Dando tudo certo, quero muito transmitir a final, então vou conversar com os atletas, e aí vou atualizando vocês. Fechado? Ih, já deu problema aqui, a ESPN tá caindo sempre que vai para o intervalo, eles até ficaram um tempo sem narrador, acho que a transmissão lá em Memphis mesmo que tá ruim, mas vou arrumar aqui e já volto.
Remember about your goals?
I think it was in the first half I was looking for a goal, trying to shoot, and I found that space and I was able to find the net, and thankful to the work of the teammates and very happy for the goals.
Gina, we'll let you go with the weather coming in. Congratulations, all the best in the final.
Thank you so much.
we'll send it up to Josh back in the booth.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Gino Vivi, our Geico player of the game, as we take a look at our final stats here tonight. UCF relentless with their attack, and it shows. 21 shots, 8 of those coming on goal. Memphis, a team that earns the corner more than any other in this league, did have the advantage there tonight, but not able to do anything off of the set piece, as the UCF back line was as impressive as what they were in the midfield and up top as well. UCF advances on to the conference tournament final. That will be Saturday night, a 7 o'clock kickoff. One more semifinal coming up here tonight between Tulsa and SMU. 6-0 victory for UCF over Memphis, and they are headed to their 5th consecutive conference tournament final. Thanks for being with our entire crew. And for Dave Saunders, I'm Josh Haley saying good night from Tulsa.